HarperCollins presents Dead Man's Daughter, D.I. Meg Dalton, Book 2, by Roz Watkins, read by Caro, Clarke.
Prologue. She lay on her back, hard metal under her. So cold it felt like being punched. The smell of antiseptic scorched her throat. She couldn't move. She tried to scream, to tell them not to do it. She was still alive, still conscious, still feeling. It shouldn't be happening. But no sound came. The man had a knife. He was approaching with a knife. Silver glinted in the cold light. Why could she still see? This was wrong. With all her will, she tried to shrink from him. He took a step closer. Another man stood by, dressed in green, calm. They were all calm. How could they be so calm? She must be crying, tears streaming down her face, even if her voice and her legs and her arms wouldn't work. Please, please, please don't. Inside her head she was begging. Please stop. I can feel. I'm still here. I'm still me. No words came out. The terror filled her, filled the room. The knife came closer. She couldn't move. It was happening. The touch of steel on her skin. Finally, a scream. One of the men placed his hand on her mouth. The other man pushed towards her heart. Chapter 1. The woman grabbed my hand and pulled me deeper into the woods. Her voice rasped with panic. She was running towards the gorge, the place the locals call Dead Girl's Drop. That didn't sound good, particularly given the Derbyshire talent for understatement. I shouted over the wind and the cracking of frozen twigs underfoot. What exactly did you see? I know what you're thinking, but I didn't imagine it. Strands of dark hair whipped her face. She must have only been in her 40s, but she looked worn, like something that had been washed too many times or left out in the rain. She tugged a similarly faded, speckled greyhound behind her. I was expecting proper police, she added. I'm a detective. D.I. Meg Dalton, remember? We wear plain clothes. No matter what I wore, I seemed to exude shabbiness. I was clearly a disappointment to Elaine Grant. I sneaked a glance at my watch. I'd had a phone call from my mum that I should have been returning. Elaine tripped on a stump and turned to look accusingly at me, her edges unclear in the flat morning light. Pale, like a ghost. The dog saw her too. I glanced down at the dog. He panted and drooled a little. I wasn't sure I'd rely on his testimony, but I couldn't afford not to check this out. I shivered and pulled my scarf tighter around my neck. Wearing white, you mean? But you saw blood? It was a nightdress, I think. Just a young girl, streaking through the trees like she had the devil at her heels. And yes, there was red all over her. Branches rattled above us. Something flickered in the corner of my eye, shining pale in the distance. My breath stopped in my throat, and I felt a twitch of anxiety. Is there a house in these woods? I asked. Approach down a lane. Elaine walked a few steps before answering. Yes, Belhurst House. I knew that place. The woman who lived there had kept calling the police, saying she was being watched and followed, but she'd had nothing concrete to report. After the first time, they joked that she had an overactive imagination, possibly a fondness for men in uniform. And we hadn't taken her seriously. Elaine touched my arm. Did you see the girl?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?